Okay, so what is cronyism? It's special interest policies, right, that benefit certain interest groups at the expense of the public overall. So these include central banking, protective tariffs, internal improvements, government subsidies, various foreign policy maneuvers, and so on. Traditionally, when government intervention, both past and present, is proposed, such as the recent infrastructure bill, et cetera, it's always done with the rhetoric of the public interest. This will help the public interest. We've got to do something that the market cannot do, et cetera. So the government is here to lend a helping hand. In reality, as I explain in the introduction of my book, and as I show through various empirical examples in the actual text, this is really just kind of what I describe as a thin veneer. It's just a cover. So politicians, they obviously have to say that. They can't say, vote for me, I'm going to benefit certain special interests. They're not going to win. Instead, they use this public interest rhetoric, which really just covers up the government favoritism and the special privileges that are bestowed upon certain interest groups. So that's really what cronyism is. I try to focus more on the term cronyism rather than crony capitalism, because I think cronyism is separate from capitalism. Capitalism is the free market. Capitalism actually has no government or no cronyism at all, because there's no government intervention, right? Cronyism is a more broader term, just focuses on the government privileges. And it also can focus on a lot of political and election sort of cronyism, various types of election rigging or other sorts of things politicians will do to benefit themselves. So there's also political cronyism, not just market-based cronyism.
And it is one of these things, I think, that it's so unfortunately built into our system of government and corporations and whatnot, that it now, a lot of people, certainly on the left, look at it and think that is capitalism. That's why I don't like capitalism, because it makes these fat cats very rich at the expense of the poor. Can you talk to that really quickly?
Yeah, because this is a very important point that I try and mention a lot. I teach this to my students, that a lot of people, they see various problems in their world in something like income inequality or business cycle or even inflation. And what do? They blame the market economy. They blame capitalism. So now when you hear about inflation, who are the culprits? What are the leading culprits of inflation? Well, you're seeing people now, oh, it's greedy companies. They're taking advantage of consumers. They're jacking up prices. So instead of inflation always being a monetary phenomenon from the government printing too much money or artificially restricting the supply of various goods like labor, services, and so on, well, now it's due to businesses. So this is something that needs to be corrected, where you need to actually explain, okay, no, the market does not lead to these consequences. The market leads to actually lower prices of goods and so on. And that these problems that people think are due to capitalism are really due to cronyism. And it's important to show, historically as well as in the current era, the year 2021, what the market is actually doing to benefit people and what the government is actually doing to harm people.